Hello Chocs and Chocolates, in between Chocolo for another video review. Surprise, surprise. We have Cadbury's Bournville Chocotoff. Yeah, Chocotoff, very strange name that, but that's what they're called. Dark chocolate coated toffee. So probably their version of a raisin, really. You're all familiar with these raisins, dark chocolate toffees. So yeah, so an odd one that. Not, I wouldn't say raisins aren't particularly overly, I don't know, popular in the UK. So I'm not really sure where these have come from. You know, but very, very interesting all the same. But, you know, there we go. So it seems to be the same thing as a raisin, really. I'll just review those as well, so of course check that review out as well. Well, speaking of reviews, I say I must have done about 680 almost now. 670, 680. You know, doing so many of them. 5 a week pretty much, 6 a week maybe. Yeah, so in this corner there'll be links to a place of all my reviews. So after you've watched this one and like my video and subscribe to my channel, please check that out. And yeah, hopefully you'll like those reviews as well. And if you're in a position to, so I do have a Patreon program going on and a YouTube member scheme as well. So for exclusive videos you can check that out. Yeah, as I say, there's exclusive content there, so you get reviews of crisps, cereals, chocolate spreads, chocolate drinks, things like this. Things I wouldn't normally do, yeah, are available there. So as well as supporting the channel, you get something back as well, something a bit different, so be hugely appreciated. Okay, well, on to the review. Yeah, so, well, these are very new. I mean, basically it seems that Cadbury's are kind of doing a bit more Bournville-y things. A couple of, they've done Bournville fingers recently, review those as well, so of course that'll be in the playlist. Yeah, what else did they do? Bournville something else. Bournville buttons as well, review those, they'll be in the playlist. Yes, I've done quite a few Bournville things. So yeah, very interesting how they well, and all the old Jamaica as well they re-released as well, so I've reviewed that also. So yeah, in fact I might do a Bournville playlist itself after this as well. I think there's enough to warrant it now. Yeah, so there's a lot going on, isn't there, with Bournville? But these ones, well, obviously, you know, it's clearly something. I mean, they are owned by Mondelez, Cadbury now. You know, so basically there is a sort of, you know, I guess, well, I don't think Reason, or whoever makes Reason is Mondelez. I don't think it is. No, it's Stork. But Mondelez is a European, mainland Europe sort of company. So maybe they're sort of, you know, as I say, more familiar with, I don't know, sort of dark chocolate toffee kind of things like Reasons and things like this. So maybe they just sort of thought we'll go down that route. Or maybe it's just an avenue that, you know, it does exist. There's a market there, not really tapped into in the UK. And sort of Cadbury perhaps themselves have thought, let's go down that route. So it is a bigger bag than the Reasons. The Reasons 135 grams. This is 250, so it's almost twice as heavy. Yeah, what's it? Caramel coated with dark chocolate 27%. The Reasons were chocolate toffee rich dark chocolate 30%. So seems to be more dark chocolates in the Reasons one. Partner with Fair Trade. It's got the Queen symbol on it as well, as Bournville stuff usually does, although the fingers didn't. So there, the Queen approves, if you can read it. What else is bee treat wise? One portion is one sweet, 45 calories. So it gives you a calories per sweet, which is pretty good. It's got the Cocoa Life, partner with Fair Trade. Made under license from Cadbury UK Limited. Yeah, so it's got per 100 grams, 458 calories, 19 grams of fat, 12 which are saturates. And it's got per portion, yeah, but 9.8 grams, which is one sweet, 45 calories, 1.8 grams of fat, 1.2 of which are saturates. And they're so, well, the Reasons are so chewy. I'm assuming these are probably going to be quite chewy. Yeah, so that might be why they just give you per sweet. It's quite good that they do that, I think. 45 calories, so they are quite high in calories. It's a store in a dry place, protect from heat. It's got like a best before thing. It's got this weird sort of black rectangle there. I don't know what that's meant to be about. There we go, so they look quite nice. Yeah, they're quite a hefty packet. Yeah, I think should give them an open. Let's see what they look like. Let's do it. Let's give it an open. Right, I've also got these Cadbury Bournville Chocotoffs. An interesting name. It sounds a bit German, doesn't it? Dark chocolate coated toffee. Chocotoff. David Chocotoff. But, okay, let's give them an open then. Bag's there you go. Not half full. Let's see. Bit of a dark chocolate smell coming from it. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, pretty much half full the bag. But it's better than some. I've seen ones that are not even half full, so I guess it's better than those, but still a bit, you know. Nonetheless, there's a lot in there. Let's have a look how many's in here. In the Reasons bag there was 15, which I think is a major competitor. This one's almost twice as much, twice as heavy. So I'm expecting about 25 to 28. Something there. Yeah, so this is 25 to, well, sorry, not 20, well, I should have said between 20 and 25, but never mind, too late now. Well, no, actually, no, twice as many, yes, yeah, so no, I tell a lie, I was trying to, yeah, well, basically it is 24. Yeah, so, you know, obviously, maybe they're slightly bigger than the Reasons ones. Yeah, they're slightly bigger, actually, you can see. Comparison slightly bigger, just in height. Yeah, it's slightly in width. I'll compare one in a minute. Okay, so we get, so we've got, in this pack at least, we've got 24. 10, 15, 20, 24, yeah. So let's move some of them away. Okay, yep, and that's, they look quite nice. I think they look a little bit more reminiscent of something from Cadbury's Roses when I was younger, actually, where they've got these sort of like very sort of refined golden looking wrappers. Yeah. I mean, there's a chance these are aimed at sort of a bit of the older chocolate lover, I would have said, maybe. But they definitely look, yeah, they definitely look like, you know, I like it. They look like roses from when I was young. The kind of wrapper, and I kind of wish they'd come back a bit more special. Maybe a bit like Quality Street when I was young as well. None of all these gaudy wrappers, you know, a bit more refined. Okay, let's give it an opener. So it's a sweet one, so of course there are flourishes, but I think we don't, it's a bit hard to sort of measure those in sweets. I mean, it's the way it is with these twirly toffee things. It's got sort of a tie trap thing, a diamond affair there, that's quite nice. On the conveyor belt, let's give it a measure then. So it's about 3.1 centimetres wide, well, long from the bottom. Wide it's about 1.8, and height wise about 1.8 as well. The top it's about 1.5 wide, just about, and long about 2.5, just about. Let's open a Reason then and just compare it. I won't get them mixed up. The Reason's a smaller one. Yeah, so the Reason looks a bit nicer actually. It looks a bit more uniform. Seems to be a bit lighter than the Reason one. Reason's this one here. Yeah, I think the Reason one looks nicer, I have to say. Just looks a bit more like a nice shape. Okay. Yeah, let's cut it in half. We'll leave the Reason one there because we'll do some more comparisons. Let's cut it in half. Okay, so it's like the Reason then. It is very much a similar thing. It's very hard to cut. Not the sharpest knife in the world, of course, but nonetheless, I wouldn't do this to my finger. Okay, so I cut it there. Try cutting the Reason one as well. Goodness me. Bit easier to cut for the Reason one actually, it seems. Okay, so let's have a look. So they're very similar, aren't they? They're very similar. The Reason's this, well, let's keep it the same. So the Reason one is this one here on this side. And that's the Bournville one, so you can see there. Similar affair, I think. Both got similar. Let's have a look actually. I didn't really check them. Yeah, the Cadbury's slightly taller. They've got similar. I think there's more toffee in the chocolate in the Cadbury's one because it's sort of taller. But the proportions seem, it's the thickness at the top and things seem quite similar. So basically, it seems to be very similar to a Reason really, but hopefully with Bournville chocolate. But whether that's really enough to make it taste that much different, I don't know. So I think we should find out. Let's give it a taste. Let's do it. Okay, I want to give these Cadbury Bournville Chocotoffs, dark chocolate coated toffees, a taste. And the official description: caramel coated with dark chocolate. Okay, so it wasn't sort of chocolate toffee, which was the Reason one, which I think, as I say, is their main rival here. Quite very similar. So I'll open a fresh one. So right, expecting a very heavy chew here, so might be some time. Let's do it. Let's give it a taste. Cracking, yeah. As soon as you bite it, like the Reasons, you have to forgive me speaking mouthful. I think I'll be quiet for some time otherwise. The chocolate does all sort of come apart. Because obviously the chocolate is more brittle than the toffee. It's a very chewy toffee. Crikey, yeah. The same when I reviewed the Reason ones. It was such a shame that the Cadbury's chewy caramel in the roses has been so softened because there's no chew there at all anymore. But this one's the other extreme. It's a lot more chewy than it used to be. More so than things like the Toffee Penny and Quality Stream, things like that. It's really chewy. It's very similar to the Reason in every respect. Yeah. I got a bit of a chocolate taste to start with, but the chocolate's the first thing to go, because it all falls off as you bite into it. It then melts, of course, and you've ate it then. So now you just have a bit of a chew. Yeah. Didn't get much of a taste from the chewiness of it, to be honest with you, and I think maybe I've got half of the Reason here. Let's just try the Reason half. It's a real workout for your mouth, this, I tell you. You couldn't be having many of these. Your jaw just couldn't cope, I don't think. So the thing is, why it gives you per calorie on the sweet thing, you know, per sweet rather. Calories per sweet. So just try the Reason one now. Okay, let's try the Cadbury Bournville one. Oh god. It's made my jaw click. Very tough. The Reason one seems slightly softer actually, and it's still tough. I think the Reason one tastes a bit better. This one has what may be described as a Cadbury Bournville taste. Slightly. That's only in the chocolate around the side. I mean, the Reason one just seems to taste ever so slightly better. Ever so slightly. Well, they're both a massive slog on your mouth. I like chewy toffees. I love the chewy toffee in Cadbury's Roses. I don't mind the toffee penny, whatever it's called, in Quality Street, but it's not my favourite one. Just because it's a bit, it's just a bit boring. But nonetheless, I do like it when I have it. I just always leave them till the end. But these are much more chewier. They're so chewy you couldn't really have too many of them, because I think your jaw just couldn't cope. It would be sore, and I just clicked my jaw badly just eating that one there. After reviewing the Reasons first and then these ones. But they're very similar. I think the Reasons look nicer, and I think that you do get a slightly chocolate flavour that's presumably Bournville. A bit something more in the Bournville one, but I don't think it particularly adds anything to it. I don't think it's really that great of a flavour, really. It's hard to say, you know, and I'm sort of a bit low. I'll just try nibbling in the chocolate off the top. Yeah, you do get a Bournville taste. Yeah, it's definitely Bournville chocolate, but nonetheless you do get not too dissimilar taste from the Reason. It's just not quite as prominent as a waft or a taste in your waft in your mouth. Yes, there's a taste of the dark chocolate, but nonetheless it is there. But I would say that the Reason one is a darker chocolate. I mean, you can see a darker toffee rather. You can see I've nibbled the top off here, so it's a bit hard for me to do. So this is the Bournville one. This is the Reason one, and you can see the toffee is a lot lighter in the Bournville one, and the Reason one it's darker. It's a proper darker toffee in this one, and I think it does come across a bit as well. Yeah, I mean the Reason's chocolate toffee enriched dark chocolate. whereas the Chocotoff one is caramel coated with dark chocolate, and it's 27% dark chocolate, and it's 30% in the Reason. So I think the Reason ones are actually better. They're very similar though. They're very similar. I think the Reason ones just aren't quite as strong a chew. They're a bit smaller, and I think that works better. The bag's bigger than the Bournville one, so you know, obviously, cost dependent. You're getting more value for money that way, but I imagine they cost more. I can't quite remember what I paid for them. But yeah, I imagine it would be a lot more. The Reasons, I think, a bit more a cheaper product in the UK. You know, not really got the prestige behind them as Cadbury Bournville does. Yeah, I just think, you know, the chocolate toffee in the Reason just tastes. You can taste. It does taste more of a chocolate toffee rather than just a toffee in the Bournville. I think that you do get a Bournville taste in the Bournville one. It is there. It's not just a normal chocolate toffee, but there's so little chocolate covering anyway. It doesn't last very long. It goes quite quickly. As I say, you're just left with the chew. I think the fact that the Reasons are a bit smaller just definitely works better because they're so chewy. You know, yeah, I think the Reasons are better. And nonetheless, they're very similar. You know, I think the Bournville ones though do suffer a bit, as I say, because it seems to be more of a normal toffee inside rather than a chocolate toffee. And again, I think it works better in the Reasons for Reason there. But it's not sweet. It doesn't really taste of a toffee though. Really, it doesn't have a sweet taste or anything. But there's just a slight difference that favours the Reason, I would say. You know, so I think again, you know, it's clearly, you know, you're going to know if you'll want this or not. I think if you really like really chewy toffees, and you don't really like them too sweet, and you want your dark chocolate taste. They're not, as I say, this isn't very sweet at all. There's no real, the toffee doesn't taste sweet in either of them. Yeah, I think you're going to know if you want this or not. But for me, it's just too chewy. It's really too chewy, and there's not really that strong of a flavour in it. It's not even that strong of a dark chocolate flavour in either of them. But I think if you had to choose between the two, I would definitely go for the Reason. I think over the Bournville Chocotoff. But they're very similar. You know, I think I'm going to give the Bournville one a 3 out of 5. You know, yeah. It's just not quite as good as the Reasons. The Reason one is nice, I would say. So if you had the choice of the two, well, I'll try them both, but I think you'll prefer the Reason. I certainly do. And it just takes more of a dark chocolate box than the Bournville one, and I think that's what you're going for, really. I'll say the Bournville one does have a slight Bournville taste, but you do get it slightly from the Reason as well. It just has, it's more prominent in the Bournville ones, but it's very ephemeral. It doesn't last long at all. It's not really anything to give it any advantage, I would say. And you still get a nice enough dark chocolate taste in the Reason one. It's pretty much the same. So yeah, I'd go for the Reason. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed this review. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon if you can. As I say, check out my member program on YouTube. Exclusive videos, cereals, chocolate spreads, hot chocolates, crisps, other things I normally wouldn't review. If you like my channel, then that'd be a great way of supporting me because you get something back and you support the channel, as I say. So it really would be hugely appreciated. But either way, leave a comment or free. Always great to hear from you. I always reply, and yeah, and I'll see you next review. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. See ya.